Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Mel and I'm here to guide you through all things yoga. For our chair yoga practice today, we are going to be focusing on thoracic movement. So your thoracic spine is going to come from the very end of the neck, so very top of the spine between the shoulders, till about midway through the back, just before the lumbar begins. So it's typically right where you feel the ribs, the connection, those final few. As the thoracic spine is particularly special because our ribs attach to it. So remembering that we have our main rib cage, then we also have our little baby ribs up here. So we're going to work on moving and creating flexibility between all of it. So the ribs themselves do have cartilage in between that is flexible. Now, just like any other cartilage, it is not quite as malleable as other parts of the body, but it still is able to move. So we are going to be breathing and creating space for that rib cage, as well as finding some helpful movements to relieve us any discomfort and keep our breaths full and making plenty of room for our organs. For today's practice, we will be utilizing a rolled up blanket or pillow to have the support along the lumbar spine. So when we are isolating this middle part of the spine here, we do want extra support always behind us, particularly so our feet can plant flat. When you are ready, I'll meet you seated. Coming into your seat and adjusting your support behind you as you crave. So my support is considerably large, and it is just what my body needs today. Sometimes you may want less support, sometimes you may need more. It is important that you honor either. Getting yourself situated to a place where the feet can remain grounded into the mat, knees at hip distance, option for just a touch wider. Now we want to avoid having the knees in too close together, as that will then start to close off the hips and limit the mobility of the body. Feet fully grounded. Take a moment to notice if the shoulders are leaning more forward than the hips, leaning further back than the hips. Try to guide those shoulders directly over the hips. As again, you can resituate this support behind you at any time. Our goal is to try to have the vertebrae stacked. Neck long, top of the head reaching to the sky. Gently draw the shoulders down and back, hands down onto the thighs. Let's close the eyes and just breathe. There's so much value in just starting your practice with a deep, deep breath. Helping bring you more present into this moment, into this experience with your body. Beginning this practice by flooding the body with oxygen, taking deeper inhales than you have all day. Then beginning to put just as much effort into fully exhaling, letting all of that breath out, even pull the navel up and in, put a little force into it, make effort with it. Inhaling once again, notice how you've made more room for a fuller inhale. Continuing with these breaths, take the hands onto the ribs. Now we may want to directly grab the ribs. You may want to just have the hands on the outside, fronts of the belly. But then inhale, feel the ribs expand. And exhale, feel the ribs contract. Try to exaggerate this, inhaling yourself to be large. And exhaling to compress everything to become more dense and central. Creating this mind-body breath connection. 3 more breaths just like this. Final one, big inhale all the way to the top. Sigh it out. Let the hands come back to the thighs. Roll out the wrists. Option to roll out the ankles 1 foot at a time. Finding a little movement in this body. You can add some wiggles to the fingers. Switch the feet and the ankle rolls anytime you need. Just some thank yous for these feet. Thank yous for these wrists. We know they deserve it. As we return back into center, feet at hip distance, now's a great time to take them a little wider if you crave. Now I take mine wider as we find some cat and cow motion because this creates more room for my belly and my body deserves space, so I will honor the space it needs. Having a place where I can still fully plant the feet down on the mat, starting with the shoulders stacked with hips. Draw the shoulders down and back. Little tuck to the chin is to lengthen from behind the ears. Notice your breath. Notice the expansion and contraction of the ribs. As we come into our cat and cows, palms down onto the thighs, plant each finger down 1 at a time. Follow me step by step. On the inhale, begin to press the chin forward. Then pressing the heart forward, leaning forward. As you then pull the chin up, lift the chest up. Allow that to take the rib cage forward and up. Let yourself flare the tail. So you're rolling the pelvis forward, flaring the tail, even pressing into the tops of the thighs with the hands. Look up or look behind you. Eyes can go up into the eyebrows. 1 more inhale. We're lengthening the throat and the front side body. On the exhale, round and tuck, seated cat. So the shoulders pull together, round. We're tucking the tailbone. This may be a point in time where you may want to set your support aside. Giving yourself a little bit more room and mobility. For me, that means I need to scoot to the front of my chair. So without that support, my feet cannot be planted. So you may need to scoot forward. Feet planted is key. Palms down onto the thighs. Inhale, seated cow. Lifting, 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 pressing forward, pulling that tailbone up. On the exhale, let's go back to that cat, pulling the shoulder blades apart. Here's where you can take the hands down to the knees, pull the shoulder blades apart, tuck the chin in, tucking that tailbone, rolling that pelvis back. 1 more breath out. With your breath, move very slowly. Inhale, seated cow, lead with the chin. Then moving 1 vertebrae at a time, all the way up, fill the lungs. Exhale, cat, round, shoulder blades pull apart. Tailbone tucks, ribs flare out the back. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Make space between the front of the rib cage this time. Exhale, round and tuck. These don't have to look dramatic, but I want you to feel each vertebrae of the spine. Inhale, pulling forward, lifting up. Exhale, round and tuck. 1 vertebrae at a time. Be gentle with yourself. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. 3 more rounds. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Last one. Inhale, cow. Lift, 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 lengthen. Make yourself as tall as you can. Pull the shoulders down. Exhale, shoulder blades pull apart. Make space in the back of the ribs. Reach forward, forward, forward with that rounding as far as you can. 1 more inhale here. On the exhale, find a neutral spine. Come back to stacked. Take a moment. Inhale here to the top. Exhale, sigh it out. Shoulders stacked with hips. Spine and vertebrae stacked. Hands down onto the thighs, feet fully planted. Close the eyes and take 2 breaths here. Working with the mobility of those ribs, the flexibility. It's okay if that was not easy. That is full spinal work from the tailbone all the way up to the cervical spine where it meets the base of the skull. Be kind and gentle with yourself. As we work our feet back way into hip distance, again, if we need to have them a little wider, take it. But if you're able to find that hip distance, allow for that engagement. Put the effort in. Pressing down into the feet ever so slightly to stabilize. Becoming aware of the muscles in the legs. Creating that slightly forward tilt with the pelvis so we still have plenty of room for the lungs. Spine stays stacked. Shoulders, keep them at a T here at first. Reaching the hands down by the sides, palms are facing in towards the chair, towards the thighs. Fingers spread wide. Draw the shoulder blades together, pull them down the spine as you actively press the fingertips down towards the mat, like you were trying to touch the mat. Allow this to create a little bit more length in the spine, maybe a little more forward rotation in the pelvis. If you would all ever feel that low back getting fatigued, please add the support back under. Reaching the fingertips down. Lengthening up from behind the ears, that little tuck to the chin. Breathe. So we take one more inhale here in neutral. Getting nice and tall. On the exhale, reach that right arm down to the side as we tilt the shoulders. Keeping that left hand active, fingers spread wide, we are allowing the left shoulder to lift, the right shoulder to drop down, reach down towards the ground. Now we're not trying to lean over and throw off our equilibrium. We still essentially want the shoulders approximately stacked with the hips. It's more of a tilting of the shoulders. You can let the head hang down and heavy here, but still trying to keep those shoulders down away from the ears. Breathe. Really focusing on opening that left side rib cage. So these are going to work essentially like a side-to-side cat and cow. Little different as we find our flow though. So inhale, create a T with those shoulders, even everything out. Side out here. Just notice the difference between the 2 side bodies. It's a powerful stretch. Shoulders stay stacked with hips. Pelvis stays rotating forward. This might take a little bit from the core, and that's okay. You got it. You deserve it. Palms turn in. Reach the fingertips down. Seeing how the shoulders start here to square. Neck is long, tucking that chin, lengthen up from behind the ears. Stay pressed down into those feet. So this is a full body anchor. One big inhale, get nice and tall, long in the neck. On the exhale, tilt that left shoulder now as you reach the left fingertips down to the ground, allowing that to tilt the shoulders. Again, we're not leaning off of the chair. We're not trying to throw the shoulders off the side of balance. We are trying to tilt, change the angle, flaring the right ribs. Keep the shoulders drawn down and back away from the ears. Option to take that left ear to the left shoulder or keep a nice long neck. Honor what feels best for you. You can find a little rocking from side to side. Keep pulling down with those left fingers, tilting the shoulders till you feel in that right rib. One more breath out. Inhale, return the shoulders back to level. Exhale, sigh it out. Take any organic movement you need. Roll through the shoulders, roll through the neck. So we're going to find that with breath. Releasing the hands down to the side, fingers spread wide, palms turned in. Lengthening up into that neck. Make sure we're still pressing down into the feet. The legs are a part of this. Nice big inhale, get tall. On the exhale, reach the right arm down. Let it open that left side body. Find a harsher bend if you choose. Inhale, center, return to length and evenness, level. Exhale, left arm reaches down. You could dramatically let that head tilt to the left with it. Keep reaching those fingertips down to the ground. Inhale. Exhale, reach down to the right. So you're guiding that right side body down, but we're still reaching both fingertips down to the ground. This time, use the reach of the left fingertips. Press so hard down, you can inhale, lift the body to center. Stay with that. Exhale, left arm reaches down. Fingers are spread wide and active. Inhale, press so hard into those right fingers, it lifts the body back to center. Exhale, keep pressing down with the right fingertips. You got it. Inhale, active center. Exhale, bend and reach. Inhale, active fingertips pull you to center. Exhale, bend and reach. Inhale, find that length. Exhale, final bend to the side here. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, soften it all. Exhale it out. Find circles with those shoulders. Roll through those wrists. We'll go through the fingers. As you plant the hands onto the thighs, shoulders gently rest down and back. Finding less dramatic cat and cows, this time isolating the movement of the ribs. Inhale, press the ribs forward. Keep looking forward, so we're not changing the rest of the spine. Exhale, cat, ribs only. So we're isolating that center, just pressing the ribs back, so we're not finding the full round and tuck. Keep the shoulders stacked with hips. Inhale, press the ribs forward. Exhale, guide the hips back. So this requires a tilt of the pelvis and movement in the ribs. Stay with your breath. Inhale, press forward. Exhale, round back. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Inhaling back into center, rolling the shoulders down and back, palms flip down. Take 1 breath here. Just digest all of your movement. Noticing how we can maybe create a fuller breath with greater ease, with more flexibility. Release the hands down to the side, shining the palms forward. Opening those shoulders this time, drawing the shoulder blades in together. As you are ready, inhale, reach the hands all the way up. Palms face one another, drop the shoulders down into their sockets. Light tuck to the tailbone so we can engage the core, help this lift, stabilize the spine. You got it. 1 more inhale here. On the exhale, right hand grabs right wrist. See if we can lock out those arms. Gentle lean to the right. So again, we're not dumping off of our chair here. We're keeping the shoulders stacked with hips. Inhaling to get tall, exhaling to find that little bend, flare for the ribs. Inhale, center. Exhale, switch, left hand grabs right wrist, leaning slightly over. So it's more of a lift up than a tilt over than it really is a lean. So we're not guiding ourselves off the chair. Body stays stacked. Inhale, tall. Exhale, last little lean. Inhale, center, release the hands. Exhale, slowly sweep the arms down and back. Hands come to center. Stack the body, close the eyes. 2 breaths. Finishing out our practice with a generous twist. Release the hands down to the side. Spread the fingers wide. Inhale, sweep the arms up. This time, look up between the hands. On the exhale, find a twist to the right. The right hand grabs the back of the chair. The left hand comes onto the outside of that right knee. So again, instead of twisting and crunching here, we want to think about getting long in the spine first. Inhaling that spine flat, then exhaling for a twist. Option to twist a little further. You can take the gaze around and behind you if it feels good. But think about inhaling space between each vertebrae. Exhaling to wring it out. 2 more breaths here. Inhale as tall as you can be. Exhale, wring out as much as feels good. Inhale, slowly return to center from the tailbone up. Unwind the vertebrae. Bring the head around last if you can. It might feel awkward. It's okay. Bring the shoulders around, turning the chin. Palms face down. Bow the head, chin to chest. 2 big breaths. Cleansing the body, thanking the body. Releasing the hands down and to the side, shining the palms forward. Spine is flat, neck is long, fingers are spread wide. Let us inhale, sweep the arms up, look up. On the exhale, twist to the right. Right hand comes onto that left knee. We take the left hand onto the back of the chair. Again, we're not trying to lean forward and twist and compress. We want to think about making space first, or maybe back off the twist. Inhale to get taller. Exhale to wring it out. Think about turning each vertebrae of the spine, inhaling every time to get taller, exhaling to take the neck around very last. 2 more big breaths here, inhaling into that spine tall. Exhale to wring it out, last breath. On the bottom of that breath, return from the tailbone up, restack the spine. From the bottom all the way to the top, bring the head around very last, shoulders unwind, second to last. Draw the shoulders down and back, lengthen in the neck, bow the head, chin to chest, 2 big breaths. So we place both hands onto the front of the belly, continuing with the bowed head. Shoulders pull back and down. This is a beautiful stretch for the trap and an honoring to the body. Take 3 of your slowest breaths you can find. Sighing out your final breath. Releasing the hands down to the thighs, looking forward. Thanking yourself for showing up today. Let us share a single breath in unison as to seal our practice. Hands come to heart center. Let out all of your breath. Join me as we inhale all the way to the top and hold it. Bring in a little bit more, maybe 1 more sip. Then let it go. Lo kasamasta sokino bhavantu. May your entire universe be filled with peace, joy, love, and light. Satnam. Oh, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope your breaths feel deeper, your mobility feels better, reminding you that you can do those practices at any time. In between your favorite show, taking a pause from scrolling on our phones, you can find those little side bends, those big up and reaches, even those cat and cows. You could do that at a stoplight. Finding yourself, that little bit of movement, those little tiny gifts, all the time because your body deserves it. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. And if you have special requests, please comment below because I would love to know.